Are we connected?
Yes, we're connected. Go ahead and unmute that Darlene Lady Day. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Yes. Hello, I'm Anthony Mosley, Collaborations Artistic Director.
And I'm Marcus Robinson, the Executive Director. Glad to be here tonight.
What up? I'm J. Nicole Brooks, also known as Dr. Slicks. She, her, hers, they, them, and I'm Collaborations Associate Artistic Director.
Welcome to episode 9 of Crucial Connections, Collaborations Weekly, hyper-local, thinking global online space to dismantle oppressions of all forms and lift each other up. And we have a very special episode tonight, Music Heals. Celebrating Black Music Month with two amazing guests and a very, 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 very special guest host. It is my honor to introduce, drum roll please, Marcus, can you give me a drum roll? Slick, give me some background noise. Collaboration's new board president, Darlene Jackson!
Hey! Thank you so much.
Darlene is also a legendary Chicago house music DJ known as DJ Lady D. She is smart and cool, and we are just honored to be welcoming her tonight, where she will be taking my spot as a guest host on tonight's program. Darlene Jackson, welcome to Crucial Connections.
Wow, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. It's really my pleasure to be here the first time on the Together Network.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
I'm really excited about this special edition, in particular, Crucial Connections, celebrating Black History, Black Music Month. And at the end of the show, just as a special treat, we're gonna get into one of my DJ sets. Yes, and
yes, snap.
Out there into the world, so stick around for that.
Hello, Darlene. It is so fantastic to have you with us.
Yes, Darlene, welcome to the show, baby girl. And your new post as our president of the board of directors of Collaboration. I can't tell you how fortunate we are to have you stepping up and into the fire with us at this critical time in our history.
Wow, thank you. Listen, I'm beyond honored to be joining Collaboration as the first Black woman board president, actually. And listen, you're right. It is a critical time in our world. And I've been working with this organization for over a decade, just about. So I'm here because I really believe in what you do. I stand for the mission. We are Theater for Social Change. We are about increasing equity and inclusion in Chicago. And so you have me as a lifelong ally, and I really look forward to this next year.
Wow, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take a back seat and enjoy this special episode celebrating Black Music Month. Have a great show, and maybe I'll see you on the Zoom dance floor at the end.
I hope so.
All right, y'all know the deal. And if you're not familiar, let me break it down for you. We're going to be able to have guests here with us live in the Zoom conference, and you'll get to share your thoughts and questions, and you can sign up for a ticket in advance, and others can watch the live stream on Facebook, YouTube Live, and Twitch. And you can go back and watch our first 8 shows and all the individual segments on our YouTube page. So subscribe while you check that out. All right, so now we're gonna kick it on over to Sister Darlene, and we're gonna talk about our sponsors.
Sure. So, you know, the Together Network and the programming on Collaboration's Together Network is made possible by support from our sponsors, AV Chicago, the Mark and Jean Malnati Family Foundation, and the Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation, and of course, the viewers out there watching us right now, viewers like you, who can go to collaboration.org and donate to support us in our mission right now.
Yeah, that's right. We've launched a matching gift campaign, a gift challenge called Transcendence to raise a total of $100,000 to ensure that Collaboration survives this pandemic by creating this platform and others. The Feinberg Foundation and the Manotti Family Foundation have agreed to match the first $50,000 we raise, and so far we've raised nearly $30,000. I mean, we're almost there. Come on with it, folks. Yeah. Please contribute what you can. $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month. Or if you got it like that, write the big check.
Yes, go to collaboration.org, please. And just so you know, that your donation also supports our writing workshop, the Geniuses at the Prodigies workshop. And then we also have another great program, Becoming a White Ally / Co-Conspirator. This is a workshop that's every Friday at noon. And you'll also be supporting our upcoming season, and we're going to be announcing that shortly.
Amazing.
Yeah, who we got on the show this week?
Well, on this week's show, we'll be exploring music heals, right? So the healing power of music, and we have two super talented musicians coming through tonight. Ms. Bianca Shaw, she's a hip hop MC, rapper, singer, drummer, and songwriter. And that's in the first act. And then in the second act, we'll have B. Howard, who is a singer, songwriter, performer, producer, and just, platinum selling artist. So we're going to have our hands full with some amazing musicians and performers tonight. And I really can't wait to get into talking with them.
And tonight, instead of having a halftime performance, DJ Lady D will be finishing the show with the dance party, baby. You know, y'all might even get me moving up here, seeing the dancing bear. Y'all might be up to something here. So stick around for that and get ready to move and be moved.
Yeah, I slicked down my baby hairs for this, but I'm sure they're gonna come right back up once Darlene starts spinning. All right, we got a lot to get to, so let's go ahead, let's get it popping.
All right, let's get started. So Bianca Shaw, she is, like I said, a hip hop MC, a rapper, a singer, a drummer, and a songwriter. But more importantly, she's a Chicago girl. Hey.
Hey.
Yes. And so with roots in the West Lawndale neighborhood, we're going to, listen, I just got to know, you grew up in Chicago. Tell me about, that time in your life and how that formed you as an artist.
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, it wasn't an ideal lifestyle, but, me and my family always we kept close bond together. So that's really what kept us going while we were staying there. It really molded me into the person that I've become now, I believe. I'm just more humbled, and I feel just grateful for everything, that's happened now.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. A big welcome to you, but we want to start off showing some of the listeners what you can do, what you're about, and a little bit of your artistry. So we're going to cut to a little bit of video of you performing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that song and that video.
So Bipolar, I wrote that a couple of years ago. I was going through as Adele calls it, a rubbish relationship. So I wanted to just kind of portray what I was feeling. I felt like I was in a battle with myself. And that's really what Bipolar was about. So not really about the disorder, but just about, I feel like we all have that time in our lives where we don't really know which way to go. We kind of pulled in all different directions, and we have to find that piece to get us back on our square. And for me, that piece was just releasing it through music and, getting in tune more so with God and reading more. And I don't know, exercising. I need to do that now. But that's basically where that song went to, or where it came from.
That's great. The video looked amazing. Maybe Dr. Marcus has a question for you, I'm sure.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk to Bianca. That was quite the piece of music there. I'm going to ask the producers to put up the link so people can get to it, get the whole thing, you know, and maybe even download a track or two if we can make some love like that happen. So who are your inspirations? What pulls you through? You know, how have you been making it through this twin pandemic? Come on, sis, talk to me.
Yeah, I've been first off, what kind of motivates me and who my influences are, I'll start there. My mom, I've been doing music since I can remember, and my mom was like the choir director at church, so she kind of forced us all to also
Yeah,
sing
yeah.
and do like things musical. So me and my sisters, we used to dance to like Spice Girls and Cheetah Girls, and we just, I don't know, it was kind of just always, we were just kind of brought up that way. Musical influences always has been, you know, my mom, Missy Elliott, you know, all the greats. I like Switch, They'll Never Be. You know, I like
They'll never be
that's my
yeah.
song.
Yeah, come on now. I got you.
Yeah,
Black
my
people,
dad used to
yes.
all the oldies. Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of musical influences that I have. You know, Kanye, Eminem, can't forget about him. That's why, you know, I switch up to the rap. So I really, that's pretty much it for my influences. I'm just influenced by my surroundings and just good music. I like good
Yeah,
music. That's it.
beautiful. How you making it through? How you making it through?
Well, same. I just read. Like I've never been the type to be bored. I don't know. I'll find me something to do. Like I'll be gone or just figure out something to get better at. So I'll be, you know, I'll play my drums. I try to get better at that. And I got twins, so they keep me busy. I've been a homeschool mom.
Yeah, wow, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna let Dr. Slick Nicole Brooks get in on this. What's up, Nicole?
Sure.
Yo, shout out to all the parents out there doing their thing. I mean,
I
like, my
know.
goodness, we're sending you extra love, energy there. So, earlier on, heard a little blurb that you're from the west side, best side. Am I right? Did you say Lawndale? Did I hear that? Yes, I did. Yes.
North Lawndale area.
Hey, I'm from North Lawndale too, so shout out to you. I'm raised on the south side, but I'm always gonna lift up the west side.
Well,
So,
that's what's up. I'm hoping.
right? So I'd like you to, speaking of influences and just kind of taking it back to where you're from, could you share with us some of the influences environmentally that you have experienced on the west side that may have filtered into your music, especially for those of us that are viewing from, you know, out of state or, you know, overseas,
Yeah.
because we popping all over the globe. And so we want everybody to know about the West Side. So would you expound and give it to the good people?
Yeah, for sure. Well, when I was growing up out west, some of the things that just kept me going, you know, like I said, my family, it was a really actually close-knit community on my block. We had like some of the
What's your
older
block where
people.
you grow up at?
It's 15th and Central Park. That's where I grew up at.
What?
So
Yes. 15th and Holman.
yeah.
Okay, keep going.
That's what's up. So I used to have to walk to school. Like the Dvorak was right there, so me and my sisters always walked there. We came home, but I mean, I've seen things. I have this song called Praise, and I kind of talk about, you know, my environment. And you know, I've seen some things, unfortunately, but we always kept close knit. Like I said, I just feel like God and family. You just have to have that structure. And I feel like we've been okay because of that. Like there's been, of course, with what's going on right now, this is nothing new to us. It's nothing new to, you know, all the Black people over like the city of Chicago with the police brutality. I've witnessed that firsthand several times that I wish I didn't have to see, you know. So, you know, that shapes my music and what I want to talk about, which is why I'm so adamant about the community and like like some of the billboards that's up out west. Why do they always gotta say like divorce or like McDonald's? I feel like everything starts subconsciously, and I want to be a part of the change, you know, with that and just healthy eating. We ain't got no grocery store. We got Leamington's, and that grocery store is not what's up.
Yeah.
We want to eat healthy too, you know. So that's just, I want to advocate for change in that area.
I'm glad to hear you speak on that. I don't know if a lot of people realize that the West Side was forever changed since April 5th, 1968. You know, like those vacant lots are still there from 68. The same very few restaurants and businesses, there aren't very many, and it's all still there. So it is, I'm locking arms with you to lift that up, because no one should really have to endure that sort of mess. But you know, it's really wonderful to see that you're putting it into your music.
And actually doing something about it. I've been out there, you know, just helping with anybody like passing out food and whatnot. Like I tell people all the time, like who didn't grow up out west, like y'all have grass, okay? That's the amenity. Like we didn't even have no grass. So I'm excited to help. I want to try to do something about that as well. Like, you know,
more green space. It's important. But the West Side also has some of the most beautiful parks. Yo, while we're you know.
I'll be at Golden Dome. Yeah, helping out. That's why I went
to the Golden Dome. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. Shout out to the West Side.
Yeah. Come on, Darlene.
I wanna ask you, because yes, you're you know, from Chicago. You're Black. You're a woman, and you are in hip hop. You are an MC. You are a singer-songwriter, and you also play the drums, which that's something that a lot of women don't do. How did you get to that, and how does that inform your musical practice? Like knowing rhythms, knowing patterns, knowing what you know you might want as a musician. I know you have to also work with producers. So talk about a little bit of your process as an artist and a musician.
Okay. So my process as an artist and musician, you want to know how I got started playing the drums?
I want to know about those drums, sure. And then and the hip hop emceeing, and then but you also sing. So tell us a little bit about all the things you've gotten into and how you got there.
Yeah. So everything started in church. To be honest, the drums started in church. I just used to always beat on things at my mom's house.
I was going to ask, did anybody ever say, you can't play the drums?
Of course. Everybody always going to doubt you. But I couldn't, though. I was bad. Like, I was beating on pots and walls in my mom's house, and I got kind of tired of being smacked every time I was beating on her walls. And she'd just say, stop beating on my walls. You're not paying nothing around here. So, you know, I kind of channeled that energy into going to church. Every time they would, like, the janitor came in, I would just ask the pastor, like, hey, can I come in and practice? And that was me every day, just on there, like listening to the music that they would play. So I played one time at their devotion, and they were looking back like, what is she doing? Like, I was so terrible. So that gave me motivation to keep practicing. Anytime anybody tells me no, or you can't do it, or yeah, right, I don't think that's really feasible, that just fuels my fire. I love it. I love when people tell me that, because it's so far I've beat the statistics, you know, already. So I don't know. With the rapping, I started rapping at a summer camp. I made a rap because I seen Bow Wow on TV, and I'm like, maybe I can do the same thing. You know, he had his little braids. So I tried it, and it was history. I performed it in front of a summer camp, and they went crazy, like I just won the 6th ring or something.
How old were you?
So I was 11 years old. So I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe I can do something with the rapping. So I started doing that. The singing, I did not come into it. Even though I was singing at church, I was doing solos. I didn't come into it recording until I went to college, and and it kind of came out that way. I was discouraged, and I went to another engineer. And sometimes it's all about the people that you work with too. Like you think you can't do something, you get the right team, and you just catapult to another level. And I'm just, you know, thankful that God placed the people in my life that He did. So I think everything just came around full circle with that.
That's amazing. I want to play a little bit of your song Lightning, okay?
Sure.
Like a billion jewels running through me. I can feel the energy coming through me. It's a feeling, won't fade away. It's a grin, what they don't say. I just wanna get away from everything. A whole new energy, secret identity. I say my best days to my life. I feel like dying, and I can't hide it. Touch me up like lightning. Hurts sometimes, but I like it. Break through all this silence. Touch me up like lightning.
It's new for now. How you doing?
That's hot. That's hot.
That's that West
Yeah, I
Side
want
pop.
to shout out
Yes.
to everybody in here. I want to give a shout out to everybody in here watching who came through to see me. That song is new. It's unreleased actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
So
thank you for that.
that was a Together Network crucial conversation,
Premiere.
connections, exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we might have some folk out there in the audience that might want to get in on this question thing. You know, I wonder if anybody's ready to step up, be moved up to come in and say some words to this fabulous artist we got right here. In the meantime, you know, that drum thing is something. We're gonna have to get on that drum thing. You know, people don't know, but I'm a killer. I should say so. I got a little guitar thing going on, girl.
Yes.
Straight up out that
I would
church.
love
So,
it.
you know, we'll figure it out. All right, I'll get in touch. That'd be great.
I would love it. Thank
I
you.
think all Black people supposed to have drums so that we can beat them when it's time to do what we got to do. And I think the time is right now. You feel me? You heard?
Right now.
I hear you.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we had a little bit of somebody that just said that they had not heard that song and they can't wait to get it. And so, Bianca, just tell us how people can find you and and where can they get your music?
Of course, my music is everywhere: Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Audio Mac. I also have a link in my bio. You can also go to biancashaw.com. That's BIANCASHAW.com. So also follow me on Instagram at Bianca Shaw Music. I talk to everybody, so inbox me if you had a question you didn't get a chance to ask me. And I really appreciate you guys for taking the time out to talk to me.
Absolutely. And really quick before you go, Bianca, just a quick fire. Can you just give us 3 people that inspire you? We have that question coming in from Facebook, from our friend Darby.
Yeah, Portia Shaw, Missy Elliott, Eminem.
Hey.
First one's
Yeah,
my mama.
baby. Yeah, baby.
Thank you, Susie.
So glad to have you. Such a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much. Wow. Wasn't she fantastic?
West Side,
Yeah.
West Side,
Amazing guest. Amazing guest.
That is great. Oh my goodness. Well, the fun just keeps coming. So right now we're going to be listening to a little bit of some music from B. Howard, who is a singer, songwriter, performer, and producer with Chicago roots. And so let's bring B. Howard to the stage and let's hear a little bit of his music too.
Wow. Whoa, how dope was that?
Hot fire. B. Howard, welcome to the Collaboration Together Network and Crucial Connections. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
Doing great. Yeah, we
all Black people should have drums.
Listen, I worked with a lot of young girls and they would always say, oh, you know, my somebody in their life said, don't play the drums. But I find more and more women these days are doing whatever they want. So it's lovely. and it's great
Yeah.
to have you here. That was your new single. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is my new single, We Are Champions. It was something that I created a while ago with my friend Vanessa, and we held on to it. And then it's like it originally was meant for our brotherhood between U.S. and China, and like we're really tight like that. And after we held on for it, and then in the midst of everything that's happening globally, we felt it was like it's high time, it's an appropriate time to really release this and uplift the people and give some people hope and inspiration during this time.
That's great. Is it going to be available? Is it on the download sites or places where anybody can get it?
It's available now on Apple Music, Spotify. Right now, it's been out like about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And it's got 100,000 streams so far. We're getting a lot of big support from different people. I'm just so thankful that they're hearing the message, but we got to get it out to more people. I'm thankful to be here to talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's great.
You guys are, Chicago is really, really, really a tough place. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us about your Chicago connections.
Oh, well, most of my family's from Chicago and Indiana. And, I see somebody talking about they're from the West Side. I work with Lupe Fiasco, and then I also work with Chief Keef. And, I love Chicago. I went to school in Chicago, too. Marvin College Prep Southside.
Oh, that's exciting. So we have a connection there. I'm very familiar with Marva Collins. I actually was a child actor and was in her movie. So
You were?
yes, and I was good friends with her daughter Cynthia.
Yeah, wow. And Patrick in the.
Yes. So
Miss Collins was one of the reasons, like, I know a lot of these things and really dive into things with our culture and with expressing myself throughout different cultures is because of Marva Collins and her teachings at the school. And we actually some of us were selected to be in a class 7 habits of highly effective people. And we take us out to school, we read this book, and we have to answer questions about being proactive and reactive and things like that.
yeah, she was an amazing woman, and really a credit to Chicago. She really put us on the map and really just sort of enlightened us about education and what could be done and what's possible. And so, and no limits and no limitations on people, and to have raised expectations because we're all capable. So I really did love her message, and so I love that you have that connection to Chicago as well. But you actually, are a recording artist, multi-platinum. You must have gone to LA at some point, or New York or somewhere. Tell us about your journey from the Midwest and what that's been like. How does that inform your art?
All right, so that's a good question. My journey from the Midwest is kind of like, it's like leading two lives. I had a life in LA, and I had my school in Chicago, but I had different family everywhere. So it was like, LA is very Hollywood and stuff like that too. So I started off, I wanted to do music and things like that, and I only had a certain amount of time. And my mom and my family was just like, kind of sunning me off a little bit. You have a year to do something, whatever. So I started going to everybody's studio and, hiding out at the studio and just learning and at Shaka's, from everybody. And then at the end of my year that I was supposed to do music, I sent my song to Gerald Levert. And they were in the studio, God bless them, I'm saying? They were in the studio recording an LSG album. And Keith Sweat and Johnny Gill didn't come up to the studio. So he was like, Ivan, what's that CD Brandon sent over? So he put the CD in, and the next thing you know, I get the placement on the record. And at the end of the year, I was like, yeah, got that. And then got some Genuine Records and Drew Hill and that. I was like, I'm good.
Who just drops all those names like that? What? That's like going through like the Motown roster, just like, oh, this person and that person. Like that is remarkable.
Yeah.
It's very fortunate to grow up in this community and to have that kind of access to be inspired by other people, that are actually African-American celebrities action and figures that people could look up to. Those guys are champions to me. You know, they were my champions. A lot of times people ask you, you know, what kind of, you know, I used to say I didn't go to music school or anything like that, but actually credit to all of them. Mickey Howard, the Jacksons, Shaka Khan, Sherelle, Gerald Levert, just everybody. That was my music school. You know, it was a very fortunate thing. And I think at this time, you know, having an opportunity to present my song and present who I am and have my background with me to give inspiration to people coming up and, you know, other musicians and artists that don't have anybody like that to look up to, you know, that have not, you know, had all these problems and stuff like that, with, you know, drugs and stuff like that, to be able to, you know, inspire them and inspire people to do something different with their platforms.
Yeah.
Marcus, I don't know if you're touched by this because you know what it's like to try to inspire people during a difficult time, and we've all been experiencing a lot of difficulty. Maybe you wanted to ask Brandon or B. Howard something about.
Yeah. What up, B? I'm interested in what you might have to say to young leaders growing up now that can help them receive the baton from us old heads and take this thing on where it needs to go. What encouragement do you have for the young leaders?
Take the time to listen. You know, a lot of us, you know, we feel like we know it all, you know, just like every generation before us, we always think that we know everything and that we the top dog. So the main thing is I would say to anybody coming up or even some older people, you know, just take the time to listen and check out the things that they did right. Don't point out what they did wrong. Take the time to receive what was done right. See how you can apply what was done right to what you're doing and fill in those gaps. You're going to make your own mistakes.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge to not make the same mistakes and try to make a progress. You know, that takes listening and paying attention and integrating your own methods.
That's wisdom beyond your years, young man. I'll take that to heart. And so I'll shut up and start listening right now. What's up, Dr. Slick?
Well, B, I was really struck by the video that you of your new single that you were able to share with us. And it got me to thinking about how xenophobia is a part of this, this melange of crap that we're all dealing with. So are you raising your hand? Yes, please.
Can you define phobia?
Xenophobia, absolutely. So xenophobia is basically when you hate someone for being from another country. And there's a lot of xenophobia that we have witnessed, especially toward those who might come from China, all related to COVID-19. So people be effed up just because you're from another country, you know? So the video that you showed us and just the little bit of what I, like the video really choked me up after the first few frames, which I was surprised by because I think we've all sort of been glued to our TVs and our devices and listening to the radio, being inundated with information that is completely necessary. But there was something about the way you, the way it was put in that video. I saw a great sense of unity. So I guess what I'd like to know is, have you traveled the world? What have you learned from traveling? Even if it's traveling within the States, wherever you've gone, could you share with us what you've learned from travels and how you're not a jerk in that way? You're obviously not a, you're not a xenophobe. So could you just speak a little bit on that?
I think growing up, I was able to travel a lot of places globally and domestically. And what I learned about people is that most of the places they're the same people. You know, we're all the same, and there's a hood in every country. There's a There's like freaking the luxury part of every country. There's different types of people. It's just we're all the same, and it doesn't matter about color, and it doesn't, people's beliefs and what they believe in. Of course, you're going to hover to people that believe in the same thing, but in general, most people want to achieve a kindness, a different type of bond with each other. They're trying to connect with each other in a different way. And we're mostly taught here in the States to not do so to a degree. We're taught a lot of things that, are not necessarily worldly and that prevent us from understanding other people that are worldly in some areas. And it's important for us as a culture, which we are as a culture learning more, and have access to more, and we're doing more. And the majority of us are trying, and we're reaching to that place. And it's a beautiful thing to see more people becoming more worldly, even though they may not understand, but they're learning more of the world, where they're not going to the countries. And some people are actually making efforts to go to Italy. People are saying like, oh, I want to go to so-and-so place, not knowing what it's about, but they're making efforts to go. And once they go, you learn, and you learn more about your own culture, of how we've influenced different places. Everybody we took and give. It's an exchange. I could talk all day about that kind of stuff, because I really love the world. I love people.
I'm the same way. I think that you're either motivated by fear or by love, and
Yeah.
so try to lead with love. I was looking at your tour roster, and you were supposed to be going to a number of places this year: China, Indonesia, South Africa, Europe. You were supposed to be on like pretty much a world tour. So what have you done instead to stay connected to your fans, since you can't be out there performing?
In the interim, it's been more of a communication thing. I'll check in on my fans and stuff like that, but mostly putting this song out and making it available for my fans, and reaching out to them through this way, in a way that I can touch them and they can know that I'm there with them, that we're all together, and that it's not just, I'm not sitting up in my little home and kicking back and in my jacuzzi, some old BS like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm with everybody. I'm here with you, and we need to uplift each other, and we need to uplift other people.
I'm gonna play a little bit of your music because it is very uplifting.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
You ever meet somebody and you just want to be their friend immediately? That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm like, I want to be Bianca's friend.
Look, that was so awesome. That really fits with Throwback Thursday, because that was a little bit I'll Be Sure, which was, that was kind of our coming of age, music. So what made you do that one again, or, bring that up to the new school?
You want me to be honest, or you want me to tell you the press story? No, the truth of the matter was, so my song was doing well on Billboard. The dance chart was number 11. It was climbing, and I showed up to BET. I just left VH1 and all, and people going screaming and stuff like that. I showed up to BET. I'm with the homies Neo and everybody. Okay, but the people were just like, oh yeah, what up, B-How? And I was just like, and I worked with a lot of the guys there, and I produced them and stuff. And I was like, damn, I went back home. I was like, gosh, they don't like me or something. What's going on? Right? So I called my boy, Dez. He came over, and he was like, I was telling him the story. And he's like, since my first record, Dance Floor and stuff, I haven't given anything to the community like that. Aside from producing, I didn't give back or anything like that. I just went pop and started going over the world, and I wasn't at home like that. And I was like, you're right. And I was like, what can I do to create something that is for my people, is for the crew, and still stay true to myself and what I do and how I roll and stuff like that. And we was going through some things, and I was like, you know what? I'll be sure is a friend of mine, and like old friend Quincy and all them, and I'll be Junior. So like his anniversary is coming up, and it'll be something special for him if I recreated that song in a way, and then I can still have fun with my people, and it'd be cool, So after we finished the song, and I called Al B when I was recording it, and he's like, "Yo, man, it's good young mogul," and he always says young mogul. So finished the song, and to my surprise, that song, it got its plays, and it got me Best New Artist Award, and I was like, wow, I was just like, wow, and it's a good thing. I felt good about it, and I'm glad my people and the culture, really felt good about it in our culture.
I love that message because it informed you, right? You went someplace, they were like not really checking for you, and then you figured it out, like, oh, I need to do something that gives back. So that's a beautiful lesson in that story. So thank you for sharing that with us. And why don't you share with everybody out there where they can find you, find your music again, and because I know they're gonna want to keep up with you after this.
Okay, cool. To anybody that's looking for me, you can find me everything: Instagram, Be Howard Official, BeHowardOfficial.com, everything Be Howard Official, and I'll be there. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, give it up for B. Howard.
Yeah.
You guys are so great.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Colgate Smiles, man. Y'all definitely Chicago.
And I'm telling everybody, you my cousin. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, how about
my
that?
Goodness.
Amazing.
That was so fantastic. Woo, time is a thief. We got to keep pushing because, gosh, we are already at our signal boost.
Yeah.
Goodness. All right, y'all, here we go. This signal boost is extra special. So this segment is the signal boost to spotlight people and groups who are doing great things to bring us together. And this week's signal boost goes to NLG. That's Chicago, the Chicago chapter of the National Lawyers Guild. They do legal support for progressive social movements, human rights above property interests. That's their thing, all right? And they can be found on social media at NLG Chicago, all right? Or you can visit their website, nlgchicago.org. I want to tell you a little bit more because there are a lot of people that are going to need this information. The National Lawyers Guild of Chicago's Mass Defense Committee is an all-volunteer network of legal workers, law students, and lawyers committed to providing effective legal support for progressive protest movements and demonstrators. Part of the support involves providing free or discounted political criminal defense for activists charged with crimes as a result of their activism. Though we strive to provide free criminal defense representation for all individuals arrested in Chicago, our capacity is limited. As a result, we are not always able to provide free attorneys for everyone. But in order to offer transparency into the process, we use for providing criminal defense. So here's the thing, y'all. If you get in a bind, you can call the NLG Criminal Defense Coordinator. The number is 773-309-1198. You can leave a message. You can leave your phone number, you can leave the charge, your court date appearance, or you can also email them. And we're gonna drop this all for you in the chat so that y'all can get it. nlg.shy.crimdefense@gmail.com. So here's the thing, y'all. People who are not able to pay, you can simply say that you're unable to pay. And all the requests for assistance are forwarded to a list of volunteer criminal defense attorneys. So if there is an attorney that is able to assist the person that is charged, it will be for free or at a reduced cost. So NLG, the Chicago chapter, and all of NLG, they're doing some fantastic work across our nation. So we want to put a huge spotlight on them and thank them for their work. Again, you can check them out at nlgchicago.org. And that is this week's spotlight. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, that's good smoke. I'm put a 5 on that. Because really, we're in that season. We're in the beginning of a swell of American resistance to all the things that need to be changed, the stuff that B's talking about, all the stuff that that's been going on the streets, and sometimes we need that help. And so I'm going to put that out there on that signal boost. That's
right. I just want to say real quick, in Chicago, you can go and check it yourself. More people have been arrested from protesting than looting. So catch that dirt, okay? There are more people that have been arrested and charged and their lives put in danger for protesting. So please check out NLG Chicago. And if you don't need it, pass it on to somebody who just might.
Yeah, thanks. As we look forward, next week is episode 10, and we're going to be focusing on Chicago artist activists with Tanya Shante and Max Thomas, with a special halftime performance from Chicago's treasure, Loretta the Firekeeper Hawkins. It's going to be a great show, so tune in for that next week.
Right on. So, wow, sounds like it's going to be an amazing show. It's been my pleasure to be a part of this one, though. And I'm just going to tell everybody, thank you for welcoming me as the new board president. Thank you for welcoming me to the Together Network and to this episode of Crucial Connections. Now, we're going to stick around, I hope, and dance a little bit to a little bit of DJ Lady D. So I hope that you stick around and enjoy this short session.
Thanks.
Yes. And listen, we want to thank once again our wonderful sponsors. And if you want to see more programming like this, please consider a donation of any amount at collaboraction.org, or you can become a monthly contributor for as little as $5 a month. We would love to get a bunch of those. So, call up somebody, and if you can't do it, see if they can put 5 on it.
Yeah, put a 5 on it. Well, that's our show, and thank you for joining us on Crucial Connections this weekend. We're hyper-local, thinking global. God bless you all.